Mikayla. So today I'm going to be filming a video that I've never really ever filmed before. It is an advice question and answers. Today I'm going to be basing it on relationships because I feel like I do have a sense of knowledge on relationships because Hayden and I, we've been together for almost 2 years now, so yeah, I feel like I do have somewhat knowledge on relationships to a certain extent. Before I get into this video, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Follow my social media right there, Mikayla Jayde218, and yeah, let's just get straight into the video. So I'm getting these questions off of soyouhaveagirlfriend.com, so if you want to go check this out then feel free to. I haven't looked at any of the answers that they give on this website. I'm just going off by the questions and giving my honest opinion. So this first question is something that I have probably the smallest amount of knowledge on, but this is just my opinion because I did go through a kind of similar situation. The question is, what do I do when the boy I like is one of my best friend's boyfriend? So my situation wasn't 100% that, but my best friend at the time, she denies it now, but she did mention back in the past that she did have a crush on the person that I have a crush on. I didn't actually know I had a crush on Hayden or that I fancied him whatsoever until she got a boyfriend, and then that's when I started being like, huh, maybe he is actually really attractive. You know what I mean? If you like a guy that is your best friend's boyfriend, stay the fuck away. Like, you do not go there at all, otherwise that is not your best friend. You do not see that person as your best friend whatsoever. And if they're making moves on you, whether you like that guy or not, you need to tell your best friend because that's what best friends fucking do. So yeah, I know that was brutal, but like, you can't like your best friend's boyfriend because like, you just can't. Like, you can find them attractive, but you just can't like them, because if they like you back, then cheating happens, and cheating is just wrong. So obviously you can be upfront with your best friend and be like, yeah, your boyfriend's attractive, but like, you can't act upon that like. You can't act upon you liking him, because that's not what best friends do. So yeah, that's my advice on that situation. Like I said, my situation was very similar. Not very similar, it was similar. But I didn't even know I liked Hayden until my best friend got a boyfriend. So yeah, I didn't even think about that because that's just not what best friends do. So she didn't like him that much, she just found him attractive, but she told me about it and I knew that I had to stay clear of that. That's just my opinion on the topic. The next question is, what is love? So this is a very hard question to answer because everyone has a different opinion on what love is, and I personally don't have the right, I don't believe, to tell you exactly what love is just because that's how I fell in love with Hayden, you know what I mean? Or that's how I experienced love with Hayden. Obviously I love Hayden, but my version of love might not be the same as your version of love to someone else. Like, that's just how love works. It's unique. So yeah, I don't even know how to describe love, honestly. Like, I just knew that I loved him. So when you love someone, you know, like, you know you love them. So yeah, and you can't say you love someone who you're not with. Like, that's not love. Just pointing that out there. My boyfriend doesn't make me feel special anymore. What do I do? If your boyfriend doesn't make you feel special anymore, you need to tell them about that. You need to let them know that you're not doing a good job right now. Like, as brutal as it is, but you need to let them know what they're doing wrong. And if they don't want to improve that, then they're not worth it, you know. And I know that's like really brutal, but that's how I see it. Hayden makes me feel special all the time. Like, he is just really good at that. He's very affectionate. Like, obviously every boyfriend's different and every girlfriend feels special from different actions, but Hayden is very affectionate. He's very cuddly. That's how I feel special, and it works. So one of my very close friends, she had a boyfriend that was no longer making her feel special. Like, she would tell him, you know, like, I want to go on a date, you know, like, why don't we go on dates anymore? You know, why don't we do this? Why don't we do that? Like, and she would tell him, like, hey, instead of getting me jewelry over and over again, why don't you get me this for my birthday? Or why don't you get me this? You know, like, it's cheaper, you know, like, why don't you just get that? And he would just never do it at all. He just never made her feel the way she wanted to feel in a relationship, because in a situation like that, you need to leave because they're not willing to put in the effort to do the things that you want to do, you know. And my close friend, she gave this guy her all. Like, she put in so much fucking effort for him, but he just took it for granted, you know. It's a relationship like that where it's like really difficult because one person's putting their 100% and the other person's putting in their 0%. They're just not worth it anymore, and if they're not willing to change, then they're just not worth it, you know. Like, if you let them know what you want and they're not willing to change, obviously if what you want is reachable, you know, like you can't just say take me across the world, you know, like I want to go on a world tour but they're broke, like you can't expect that from them. But like little things like, why don't you hold my hand in public, you know what I mean? Like, I want you to hold my hand, why are you embarrassed to hold my hand? That is so common in my age. Like, it annoys me because like there are so many couples at my school, you just can't tell that they're couples. They're not even friends, like they never go near each other, and like they've been together for over a year, you know, and you've never seen them hug. It's just sad. Sometimes you just gotta let them know, because sometimes they don't know that they're doing something wrong, and you know, you gotta let them know if they're doing something wrong, otherwise they might not know and they might keep doing it without realizing that they're hurting you. So there's been situations like that. Like at the very beginning of Hayden and I's relationship, I'm his first girlfriend, so he didn't know how to act, or he didn't know what to do and what not to do in certain categories, and I just had to let him know. I took 6 months to speak my mind, and it was like the biggest regret ever, because I was like, why didn't I just tell him from day one, you know? And he would have been good from day one, you know? And there's so many situations where Hayden was like, why didn't you just tell me? And I'm just like, I don't know why I didn't just tell you. I just didn't, you know? Remember, your boyfriend can't read your mind. Especially someone like Hayden. How important is it to say I love you? In my personal opinion, saying I love you is extremely important. If you love someone and you don't let them know that you love them, what you doing? What are you doing? If you say I love you but don't prove that you love that person other than just your words, then obviously it's not going to mean anything and it's not really that important. So why are you saying it in the first place? Why do I keep rambling? What am I talking about at this point? Like, seriously. But yeah, saying I love you is very important, only if you mean it. End of discussion. How often should you see the person you are dating? Well, in my relationship, it was very important to see Hayden very often, because that's just how me and Hayden roll, you know? Like, we like being with each other all the time. And it's been like that for 2 years now, you know, like we always talk to each other. That's just how it is. Obviously other relationships are different, you know. If me and Hayden, we went to the same school, we saw each other every single day, you know. But like, it really depends on the couple, you know. Like, if a long distance relationship works, you know, then it works, you know. There's no denying that long distance relationships will never work. There's no denying that factor. It really just comes down to the couple. So in my personal opinion, for me and Hayden, it's very important to see each other all the time. That's just how it is. Like, we don't get bored of each other, we don't get, you know, frustrated about being together all the time. Obviously Hayden and I, we fight and stuff, but like, that's every relationship. So I'm not gonna glorify our relationship and be like, we never fight, we're the perfect couple, because we're not. But no one's the perfect couple. It really just comes down to the couple itself. Like, if you want to see that person more often and you can see that person more often, then do that, you know. Like, that is what is important to you, and that's perfectly fine. And if you want more space, then have more space, you know. But it's also in scenarios of, if you can see yourself being with that person till marriage and having kids, you know, if you see a future with that person and you're very serious about it, then it is important to somewhat extent to be with that person, obviously. Because if you're not with someone all the time and then you move in with someone and then find out you can't fucking stand them, like they're fucking annoying. If you spend a lot of time with someone, it opens up more doors of being able to know them as a person. Like, Hayden has been living with me for about 2 months now, and I've learned so much about him. He's messy as fuck. And he never gets up. Don't even get me started. Texting naked pictures. Do I tell his girlfriend? Yes, you do. I get like really angry in situations like that, because like, I just get really angry in like relationships that are unfaithful. Most, like, let's be honest, most of the time if you tell someone and you don't have evidence this person's cheating on you, then they won't fucking believe you, because their boyfriend or girlfriend will deny the fuck out of it, because that's the reason that they're cheating, most likely, is because they don't actually care about the person's feelings. Anyway, obviously there's some people that regret it and open up about it, but there's some people that are just sick, like, honestly. If you don't care about someone, leave them. So many people have said that, but so many people don't act upon it. And it's like really annoying, because like, you feel like in today's world you can't trust anyone. Like, honestly, you can't trust anyone, especially with like Snapchat and like being able to delete all traces of evidence. Sorry, I just yawned. If someone is texting naked photos and being unfaithful to someone, then let them know about it, you know? Obviously, they might be in a open relationship, but like it doesn't hurt to let that person know just in case they don't know about it. That's just how I see it. Obviously, with my best friends, I will tell them if I ever saw her boyfriend being unfaithful, I would fucking tell her instantly, because that's what friends do. Should I tell my best friend I'm dating her older brother? Yeah, I don't understand why people hide that from people. Although if my best friend was dating my older brother, I'd be kind of grossed out. Do I sleep with my friend's boyfriend who is the man of my dreams? No. Pretty obvious what the answer is, no. How do I stop a guy from asking me for naked photos? You block them if you have already told them stop asking me. Maybe I'm just like way too mean and like blunt about things, but like that's how I would handle it. I'd be just like, stop. Stop or you're getting blocked. Like, that's just me as a person. But so that's all the questions that I have time for today. If you want to see more videos, like advice type videos, then make sure you let me know by liking, commenting and subscribing. Don't forget to follow my social media right there, Mikayla Jayde 218, and yeah, I'm gonna go now, so bye.